Tune in to the Entrepreneur Life Show with your host, Rose of McDonald Bookkeeping Services and Shamara Walker of SWHR Consulting. We bring real issues and resources to business owners and entrepreneurs, local and celebrity guests sharing their journey into entrepreneurship. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey now, everybody. Happy Thursday. So I first want to start off with, pardon me for sounding like a hoarse throat. I don't have COVID. I have a sore throat, okay? So calm down if you hear me cough. So anyway, welcome to our new listeners. And we are always grateful and thankful to all of our loyal listeners and followers on whatever podcast you're listening on and subscribing to, or our YouTube channel. We appreciate you. Thank you for following us. You are listening to the Entrepreneur Life Show, where we bring real life issues and resources from business owners, entrepreneurs, their journey into entrepreneurship. And so we hope that our guests bring you education and resources that you can connect with them and maybe help visibility for your business and growth, and personally, even in your personal life. So I want to make sure that you all like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on any of our platforms on the Entrepreneur Life Show page, where you will find all the platforms we are on that you can listen and watch our past and our present guests. So again, like, subscribe, follow, share, give us a thumbs up if you like the show, and comment. So, of course, we want to say thank you to our sponsor, Marketing Out the Box Media, Sean Maddox. So you can check him out at marketingoutthebox.com. And I'm your host, Rose from McDonald Bookkeeping Services, the founder. I provide financial services, and I'm here with who?
Hey, everyone. It's Shamara here with SWHR Consulting, and we are super excited about our guest today.
Yeah.
Yes.
We need this.
He's going to teach us some things, guys, about email marketing. So we have today ZIV Raviv, sorry if I messed that up, serial entrepreneur and founder of Daily Cookie. He turned this business into a six-figure business. And again, as I mentioned, is an email marketing company that provides businesses with fully customized email marketing that they can take and start their marketing right away. So welcome our guest today, ZIV Raviv, and we're super excited to have you here.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome. Oh.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for the warm introduction. And I think just to say one thing about email marketing and about the importance of it. You know, the real importance is not about knowing how to write those emails. It's about the person that opens up an email and reads it and starts to think, and she or he raises their awareness for this problem in the world that they have, and that company can solve that problem in all sorts of ways. And that connection, that moment of connection where there's actually a relationship, that is what excites us about. It's about nurturing a lot of real relationships between tribes and their leaders.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, why you started this business. Was it some pain points that you were having in your business where you're just not getting them to click or subscribe to your, to the things that you're offering?
Well, it actually was a long journey where I used to be working as a project manager in a corporate company, and I decided to try my skills as an entrepreneur and go all in and become like a full-time independent, quit my job and start following my dream on and my passion of business. And back then, we were a family of 3 kids. My baby boy, Idan, was 6 months old. And the first month was so scary because we were just getting more bills and they have a lot of expenses. And I couldn't make anything move fast enough. And it took a year to figure out the marketing side of things. And it was a very educational year, and it made me think like, hey, if I can take a business from doing 10K a year, which was like a side hustle I had, to making 6 figures in 12 months, that means that I should focus on teaching other people as well. So I've started my first podcast, which led to opening up an online school with online courses and a subscription within another year. And then I had the opportunity to grow, to buy another company, like another business. So I started to grow an array of brands. We have 6 brands now, and Daily Cookie is the 6th one. But before getting into Daily Cookie, we actually had like this itch, this really annoying feeling of feeling guilty, really, every single day. Because as a tribe leader, it's really frustrating. You feel really bad when you're not maintaining the relationships, when you're not sending day-to-day messages, emails. It could be like posts in a Facebook group only for your customers. It could be like just being in touch. I'm not talking about even marketing for growth. I'm talking about just people you already worked so hard to get them to be attracted to you and to join your tribe, and you're not maintaining the relationship with them as often as you want because you're just like the CEO. The CEO of the company is usually the busiest of all people. So it started as an itch of mine where I said to myself every morning I would like go on walks, long walks, and I would tell myself, how do I figure this out for me, for my 3 online schools and 3 like out of the 6 brands, 3 of them are like mature enough to have subscribers and ongoing teachers and students, and it became clear to me that what I'm looking for doesn't exist. So we've decided to create it.
So how do you, for us as business owners, and for all the business owners, entrepreneurs listening, what do you think is the common mistake that we make when email marketing that is why people don't click on it, don't open it up? Is it not? I'm sure it's more than just target marketing, not having a target niche, but maybe the presentation.
It's actually not like a one-shot, like there's no silver bullet in email marketing, and there's a lot of different mistakes that are being done. They're being made, and I think that personally, I feel the most common problem is not sending enough. But very close to it is constantly talking about yourself and constantly trying to sell. It's okay to sell even every single day as long as you provide value first within the context of the email and within the context of the relationship. And a lot of time, and I was guilty of that for many months in multiple of my schools. We were only sending emails when we were ready for selling something, instead of actually showing that this is a real relationship, that we actually here to serve, that we listen, we want to solve problems in your lives, but we were too busy and sent a lot of messages that were only made for selling. So not sending enough messages and focusing them all about yourself, those are the key main mistakes.
And I can say that's a mistake I made. When you're selling, I'm just going to put out what I'm trying to sell. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like people are like, I'm just trying to sell something.
Right.
And they hate it.
Right. So how do you go about starting this list, building the list that you can start your business too? I mean, essentially, of course, you're going to have your customer list, but if you're trying to gain new clients or new customers, how do you go about achieving that?
First of all, I think that's a really important question, because without a list, you're not a tribe leader yet. You could have a community, you could be, very strong as an influencer, right? But a tribe leader, you have to actually have this very deep connection, including a list. And how do you grow that list, right? You strive to be a tribe leader that cares about his tribe, that is looking for solving problems in the tribe, like that, of that niche, right? So how do you start? Well, first of all, I want to say that it's way, way easier once your niche is well defined. And I have 3 tests that I can share with you and your listeners about how do you know that you actually have chosen a niche that is narrow enough. But once your niche is narrow enough and is well defined, the best tactic, the best strategy I think that exists these days is to have like this weekly habit of collaboration. So like everyone is so busy these days. There's so many platforms, social platforms, there's Netflix, there's the news that and there's the pandemic. There's like just so many reasons to lose sight of you. And because of that huge thick layer of noise, there's a way to penetrate directly through it. And that is, if someone that already knows, a potential tribe member talks about you, it just pierces through the noise immediately. When someone that they know, like, and trust talks about you. So you need to collaborate every single week with someone that will eventually talk about you. And that way you will grow. So basically, and these days it's so many ways to grow, and you don't have to do stuff that you're not like built to do yet. So if you are, there's blogs, and there's podcasts, and there's YouTube channels, there's Facebook Lives, and there's like creating a community, and there's Facebook ads for a challenge, or for a freebie, or for a tripwire, like for a shortcut. And there's more. These are just like some of the things that work right now, and they work in parallels. I highly recommend not spreading your resources, your time, and like focusing on 1, maybe 2 of these strategies for the top of the funnel. But basically, every single week you need to create something that will provide value, right? That will serve the tribe, and that value will be exchanged for an email address. And that thing, that resource that you've created for free even, you will need someone to help you show it to a bunch of people, and that would be your collaborator. And this is like really the main strategy. Every single week, provide value, create value in this world, solve problems in this world, put it in front of people with the help of other people, and then people will naturally come to you and grow your email list.
So I wanted to ask, now, you've been able to create and build a platform. And so I wanted to talk about how that is, because, I'm not an email marketing person, but we looked at your website. It's pretty impressive. We're going to share that so people can see that. But how did you go about being able to find, you basically have the database that everybody needs, and you can do it for them, and it's custom for them, correct? How did that happen? How did you derive it, building that so that people can actually subscribe and already have the custom niche built for them with the marketing platform and everything, correct?
Yeah. So this is actually something that is not easy, what you described. We didn't invent some artificial intelligence that will scrape the internet and find this for you. This is all like human beings, people that sit down and do like very hard work to find all these pieces of information and to create this plan for you. So when a customer comes to Daily Cookie, we actually start by sharing a brief with him or with her, and the brief is something that people can go through and help us understand their niche and help us understand their services and their flagship offer and their maximizer and their continuity offers. Like really help us become part of their team. And once we get that information, we take a full week to write the first content plan. In the content plan, we basically have a system where we focus on 4 totally separate things. We focus on, hey, look at me, look at us, like look at the company, look at all the things we do, look at our products, look at our backstory, look at our about the scenes, our processes, just look at us, look at our events. The second thing we do is we focus on, hey, look at them, look at all of these amazing influencers. Like, remember when we were meeting face to face with each other and we would talk, hey, did you hear about this band? They're coming over and let's go to see that show. And like we would talk about the heroes of the topics that we are interested in. So It's a natural thing to do, to talk about other people that are your influencers. And that's the second category. The third thing we do is we provide value in the shape of content. So we talk about the podcasts that you've recorded, or the blog posts, or the resources that you've created. Like really just try to provide value, or even we try to entertain you, like a nice GIF with a good story, or just be like, there's so many weird websites in the world where you can just say, hey, look, I've just found this, it's funny, and it made me think about this, right? And then the final category of like the plan is we try to talk about, like we go deep. We go really deep in understanding the journey from pain to pleasure, right? As Russell Brunson say. And this is an important piece of any entrepreneur, to understand those things and to be able to talk directly only on a problem, only on the solution of a problem or the potential solutions, only on like other things that are like us, right? Talk about every single step. What are the benefits? What will you feel after getting to the benefits? Every single step of basically growing the level of awareness, from not knowing that you have a problem to knowing that there are solutions, to knowing that you specifically, the tribe leader, has a solution, and all the way through knowing that your solution is just amazing and the best. So it's a process. We learn your voice, we share the content plan, we approve it with you, and then we start experimenting with writing emails for you. And we get feedback. We are very open for feedback. We constantly listen and improve the way that we write. We even read a lot of your existing material, watch your videos, and so on. So we literally become kind of like a ghostwriter for your email marketing.
So then you customize. So I would assume then you would have to really understand the person's business. They're going to have to talk to you about their business, what they're trying to do, where they're trying to go. And you customize it specific to basically their needs.
100% true. Yes, that's what we do. We just do it through process. We do an onboarding call. We do like a survey, like a form that they fill up, and then we study it, and then we start to correspond through this portal that we have, where there's like ticket management for our customers. It's all like this one big process that we formed in order to serve our clients with delegating all the bits in the business that are related to nurturing relationships. Because, hey, when you have a good plan in your hand, you can use it and repurpose it. You can take the ideas and put it into a post in a Facebook group, or in a Facebook page, or on Instagram, or on a story. Like, there's so many things you can do later on with the ideas that will come up for you.
So, I mean, both of us, I know myself, and I don't know about Rose, but we've definitely come across a lot of marketing companies, right? Just from networking and, having some individuals on our show as well. And so we kind of hear a little bit of the same type of spiel until we kind of, until they kind of share what makes them a little bit different. So what can you tell us that kind of sets you a little bit apart from some of the other, big wigs marketing firms out there that kind of, do the same types of things, but sometimes we don't necessarily get the same type of result that we need?
That's an amazing question. Thank you for the opportunity. We focus on nurturing relationships. We actually create a situation where you can delegate that, and that is something that is a very specific approach, which positions us to actually learn about what your audience needs and to actually help you serve those needs. So it's a totally different approach. It's relationship nurturing. We like to see ourselves as, instead of we are a copywriting service, it's like there's many copywriters out there in the world. They're very expensive, unlike us, but but we don't want to just provide a really affordable, like, yes, we also want to provide a very affordable solution. We are ridiculously affordable, but what we like to look at ourselves is we are a data-driven relationship nurturing agency. That's what we are. We learn the data from like all sorts of tools that allows us to tell you in your specific tribe, what do people like? Like it's not just that we know how to look at reports. We literally have built this piece of technology with a company that are experts on business intelligence called DataChant, and we've built together a tool for Daily Cookie that allows us to basically go into your CRM, your email automation software or service, and we find all sorts of pieces of information, like what is the relationship between the length of your emails to how many people actually click on one of your links, and do you need to have one link or two links or three? Should be this small or big? And those things are actually tribe relevant, like they are different from one tribe to another. I've been coaching people for the last few years, entrepreneurs, and I've seen how different it is. You have to learn how to measure these type of things and notice what is your tribe into. And we also like not just focus on the data, we also focus on the relationships. So actually provide value and actually listen to what people need and solve their problems. So I would say what makes us special, except for the fact that like it's a flat rate service that is very, very affordable, and you cannot compete with that rate anywhere. But except for that, we are totally focused on relationship nurturing.
So let's talk about demographics. So are you able to customize it to break it down with, like, for example, Shamara and myself, we're virtual. Virtual is like a thing today. And then, of course, you have some people that have the brick and mortar that necessarily aren't virtual. You have a walk-in shop. So are you able to, when providing that email marketing service for them, you can provide the demographics to local to your area because you want them to walk into your brick and mortar, or you want to expand because you're virtual and you want people in other states or other countries? Can you even expand on that?
Well, first of all, I want to say that a tribe leader is a tribe leader is a tribe leader. It doesn't matter if you are in a physical space or if you sell through Amazon or if you sell through only digital content or services. If you chose to be a tribe leader, there's one thing that is common with all tribe leaders, and that is they know the value of a channel of communication. And the most direct channel of communication is to have someone's emails. That's like an asset that is yours. No one can, like, the platform cannot change the algorithm and totally bail on you, and you're not at the grace of the new platform. You literally can grow. And like, I'm not the first person that I've noticed the fact that emails work. People, like 80% of the people claim in surveys done by HubSpot and other famous email services companies have shown that 80% of the people make money decisions through an email. They start a money decision by, the first trigger was an email. Of course, later there was a sales page or a webinar or a person that was in the shop. So like, we have a case study with a company called Adora Therapy. They actually are a brick and mortar company, a very conscious company. They sell organic perfumes and oils, and are very, very high-end in their quality. And they have an email list of thousands and thousands of people that want to be inspired, not as users of perfume. They are a part of a tribe that says, hey, we are women who loves ourselves. We love ourselves women. We love ourselves women tribe, right? And it's a very powerful tribe, and we literally are there to serve them, to just give back to the tribe, show our appreciation, and it's totally brick and mortar. So and this is just one example. We have people from different niches, coaches, fitness coaches, podcasters, all sorts of niches. And if you care about people, then as a type leader, then it doesn't matter really what type of business you have.
So how do you go about, if this is such a brand new company, right? It's a startup and they don't have a tribe, they don't have a list, they don't have anything. How do you impact their organization to get them started so that they can build their list and really be able to, promote their business? How do you work with startups, essentially?
So first of all, there's nothing wrong with not being there yet, right? We've all been there, and oh, by the way, I can hear some background noise. Sorry.
Oh, my phone. Sorry. How unprofessional.
No, it's okay. Very good. So it's something that we've all been there, and it's hard and it's frustrating. And I think the first thing you need to make sure is that you understand your niche. Like, without knowing who are you serving, it's going to be 10 times harder to actually get someone to listen to you. So would you like me to share with you the 3 tests that you need to go through in order to confirm that you understand your niche?
Yes.
So the first test that you want to test yourself with, when you come up with an idea, is, I call it the findability test. Findability. We love inventing words, and findability is about like how easy it is to find collaborators. So let's set up the scene. A collaborator would be someone that either comes to be interviewed on your show, just like right now you found me and invited me, and thank you for that. But it could be someone that if you don't have a show yet, right, or you're not sure about how to angle it and stuff, this tool will actually help you to do that. But you basically want to, if it's not someone for a show, you want to be able to contact someone who is an influencer in that niche, and be able to offer them some sort of a collaboration, like, let's prepare a PDF together. Let's give me your opinion about my stuff. Tell me what are your problems so that I could work on them. You need to basically have some sort of a value exchange, and it don't have to be exactly like you. They can be a little bit off, but they have to serve the same niche. So I'll give an example of findability because it will make sense. Let's take the niche of women dentists who are in USA. Okay, USA-based dentists that are women. This is a niche that, if you ask yourself, how hard will it be for me to find someone who is like a part of the niche, and to ask them to do a collaboration for me, with me. So, for example, if I have a show called Best Women Dentists in America, Best Dentist Women in America, and I invite and I call a dentistry that has a woman dentist, and I ask her, hey, I have this show. It's called The Best Women Dentists in America. Would you like to be on my show? I'll send you all the links and everything. Just take a look at us, and would you like to come to our show? If what you are going to give yourself a score from 1 to 5. 1 would be, it's going to be impossible to actually get her on the phone or to actually connect with that collaborator. Okay? 5 is going to be, it's going to be ridiculously easy. I can find almost an infinite amount of people, definitely 52, definitely more than that, of people that I can invite to this show. So in the case of a dentist, Shamara, how much would you score from 1 to 5 my chances of actually finding a collaborator? 5 is very easy, 1 is very hard.
I would 3. I don't know, 2 or 3.
What do you say, Shamara?
I said 3.5.
Wow. Well, how about you, Rose?
I was saying like 2 or 3.
Really? Well, for me to find a dentist in America, right, with the aid of like Google, Yelp, and even like a VA that will just go one by one. There's so many of them, and just check if the owner is a woman or not. That by itself will be seriously something that I could easily delegate or use tools for. And I believe that it will be, for me, I would estimate it will be like 4.5 or 5.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not. It's a very, very distinctive niche that is hanging out in a very special place called Google, right? They actively go and list themselves. They have a website. That's like if they have a website, each of them tribe members have a website and have a Google place. That makes it super easy, right? It's not necessarily the best niche for all sorts of reasons, right? For example, I don't have anything to contribute to that niche, like directly right now, except for being passionate about brushing my teeth twice a day, right? So let's take something that you think will be easier, maybe.
Easier? No, I want to go with something challenging. Come on, Rose, what you can think of.
So
well,
maybe businesses, for example.
For us to collaborate, because I do accounting and payroll, she does HR and administration. So for us, our target market is pretty much kind of the same, similar. And so for us to get together and team up for us was easy. Now to find my niche and marketing and to who to market to, I can easily say business owner, but I wouldn't know exactly how do I strategize to get the business owners I specifically want, because it's not every business owner. We can't take, it's not every business owner. So how do you nail down what you were talking about, like that specific audience?
Right.
So we've both been there where, we're trying to exactly do what you say, go to Google, create this list, look at, even call and see if there's some type of interest there, right? Even do some type of marketing, email marketing to draw them in. But we don't necessarily always get the people that we want to work with, or we get them and then we just, decide it's not a good fit. And so it's like, did all of that work?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, so how do you, really drill down? Specifically, I think for our industry, when we know it's so broad because it is business owners, right? That's who we're targeting. But, it's not minority owned businesses, it's not Latino owned businesses. We're just targeting business owners that do need, bookkeeping or HR services, and understand exactly the need of what they're looking for, because it's always a challenge when they don't really know. And when we do explain what we do and what we offer, it's still very, challenging for them to understand. So
one way to go about it when you already know what is your service and actually have been providing the service maybe for years, is to go to past clients and try to create qualifiers from what they already do. For example, the qualifiers could be stuff like how many people are actually working in that company, what is the range. So someone that needs HR or CPA help, sometimes they already have 5 employees or 10 employees, and now they want to scale up, so they need way more help. They're too busy by now, right? So if you go to all the businesses that have only 1 employee or up to 5 employees, that will be people that are it's so broad. Some of them are not ready for you in terms of cash flow. And so like 10 employees plus, 30 employees plus are more ready for you for that extra help, even though they have some solution already, right? But they might be a little bit more open, maybe between 5 to 10 or 5 to 20. And if they have like 100 plus employees, then the only way for you to serve them is if you provide some value for them that is still relevant. So it could be how do you enhance and empower existing HRs. So it could be that the gateway is all of these HR ladies or all of these CPAs, because you create solutions for them, not because you want to replace them, because you want to serve them. Right. So now you're not serving your podcast, your business is not in the tribe of all of the business owners. It's just the HR ladies in companies that have between 10 to 50 people. And by the way, that specific qualifying thing, the state, right? Because it's not worldwide. You don't want to start worldwide when you don't have a clear understanding of what is your conversion tool, how do you actually crawl your top of funnel and stuff. Usually it's better for you to start locally. So it would be, for example, only a qualifier with a geographic area. It might be an age demographic where you say, I only want to talk with certain ages. It could be that you only want to talk with certain title and a certain amount of people in the company. And all those things, the sales navigator of LinkedIn gives you those things as a part of your search engine. And there are other tools like companies like getprospect.io, getprospect.com, or snov.io. Then I can send you the links and stuff, which literally helps you create a list. So for example, for Daily Cookie, a part of what we do is we help small business owners like that have up to 30 employees. And they understand what it feels like to feel guilty about not maintaining those relationships. When you have 50 employees or 100 employees, you already hired your director of marketing that will be in charge of those type of things potentially. So like we have a list of people, and we were contacting them and asking them, hey, do you need any help with that? So it's all about your specific demographic. If it's so broad, right, like all business owners of any company, it's very hard to get them to listen to you. So it might be that the findability is easy, but then the other tests that I didn't mention yet will be so hard because they won't listen, they won't do the other things. So business owners is not hard to find. Business owners that listen to you is hard to find.
Right, yeah. So basically, I mean, what you just said is that's where we struggle with, that they already have an accounting person in place, or an HR, or a dual person, accounting and HR. It's not replacing them. It's strategizing on how you can enhance and bring more value to what they have. That's smart. Re-strategizing your whole plan. So, and that's basically what you do. That's basically how you guys get the marketing out. So I can see why it must take you some time to really interview a business, because you want to get their niches close to exactly what they need for you to market and how you build a relationship for them.
Right. Yes.
I see a lot of these platforms where you can just sign up and go, oh, now you start your email marketing tomorrow. It makes you question those companies where you sign up and they just do email marketing, and they really haven't even sat down to see where you want to be or what you're trying to do, or the type of marketing. So I'm going to assume that you probably at some point in time, do you go back in and kind of do like every quarter, every month, to say, hey, has anything changed? How can we make some changes to develop more, grow more with you? I mean, do you do something like that?
Yes, we actually do it in multiple ways. So the first way is every week we look at the results of the open rates and click-through rates, and we analyze the actual reasons, right? So we just noticed your tribe is actually really excited about this angle, but they're not upset. They're really upset when you tell them, hey, you need to do this. Like they don't want to be triggered with feeling bad about themselves, right? With guilt or shame. So we give you insights once a week, and then once a month we open up the complete dashboard for you with our data-driven technology, and we literally create for you like a new recommendations that are specific for your tribe. And then once about 6 weeks, we actually recreate a content plan. So we spend another week of listening to you, of updating the plan, of suggesting improvements, of checking out what worked, what didn't work, what scared people away, right? Sometimes people will unsubscribe. That's a good thing. We know that it's a good thing when people unsubscribe from us, because that means that they were not right for our message and our offer, and our values.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to look at unsubscribing, because usually, people are like, man, we lost someone, but to look at it in a different light in terms of them not being your target audience, I think that's a good way to look at it for sure.
And I do know that there's a lot of email services out there, but it's basically generic, I guess you'd say, because I've used them myself, and they give you kind of this template, and then you try to create your little template and hope that that'll do it. And it might be great, and I have some really great templates, but I don't get results, and I can sure people with the same thing. You're like, well, what do I put in there, to get the people to click on it? Because I've looked at that stuff and I'm like, I thought that was a really good email, but
yeah, using templates is great. We all start that. And saves time. It's really something that we don't use it in Daily Cookie, but we understand that with our other brands. Like at some point, I have used templates in all sorts of ways, right? We all need to learn from someone. It's a good way to start that way. And they're so affordable, isn't it? But you wouldn't go to like a dentist and tell him, hey, I need some help. And they would say, okay, here's the manual, right? Just go over the template, go through the template, and just fix yourself. Right. Like every single email we send is something that goes through 3 actual living, breathing, kicking human beings, cookie-eating human beings. 3 cookie-eating human beings go through your email. There's the copywriter, there's a senior copywriter that looks at the angle of the email and how to position it in a way that is loyal to this one big idea. And then there's a proofreader, and then the copywriter wraps it all up again and sends it to you. And sometimes we even literally send it for you. Like we go into your CRM, put it inside, and you choose whether you will click the send button or we click it for you. Some of the people literally do it all on autopilot. We do everything end to end for them. They just know we are that good in being their voice, right? So it's really totally different than just following some blanks, filling up the blanks and hoping for the best.
So how often do you update your platform for like subscribers and email database and stuff like that? Is that something you're always working on?
I believe so. Are you talking about what we make for our Daily Cookie customers, or what we do in marketing?
Yes, for your cookie customers.
About every 6, it depends on how often you want the emails to be sent, and whether you have some requests that are special. Because we also do webinar funnels. We also do Opera sequence funnels, and Opera sequence funnels is a sequence that has a goal in mind at the end. And we also do welcome sequences for specific products or for the entire list or for specific gifts, like an opt-in bribe type of gift. So because of that, sometimes it will change and not be exactly every 6 weeks, because it depends on your needs. But in general, the guideline is every 6 weeks, we'll sit down and write a totally new content plan based on the data, based on your needs, based on things that have changed.
And how would a person like us get started? And then what are the steps? Like if you said, if we were to jump into and like what would you like? Okay, this is what I need from you. Here's steps 1 through 3 if you want to get started today.
So basically, the first thing you need to do is join like through dailycookie.co and just get started. You actually have money back guarantee, so you're totally safe to try us out. And that's something that like we will totally build your plan. You only have it in your hands. We'll even write a few of the emails already, and then you could choose if to use it or not according to the results and the understanding of the flow of things. So just that's one way to start. Just literally jump into the water and try us out. But another way to start is to ask yourself, do you understand your niche completely? So there's 2 more tests that I will mention, except for being able to find collaborators, people that will help you spread the message in a consistent manner. The second test is, would they be interested to brag about you? I call this the bragability test. And this is a big one, again, for you, especially if it's like, let's say, an HR lady that you coach. You're the mentors for HRs and CPAs. So you're not replacing them. You coach them, you give them resources, you help them level up, step up. And occasionally people need you to completely take over the account, and you have the resources to do that too, to make sure that your customers they can go on vacation, so they can go on like evolving into a new job, right?
Right.
So if you have something that an angle of some sort that will get your customer to want to talk about you, that means they're bragging about you. That means that they're excited about being in touch with you. So for example, let's say I am an HR person, and you contacted me and you said that you can give me a free assessment, right? And in this assessment, we will give you three things that you're doing amazingly well, and you should continue, and one thing that you should improve, and it's a 15 minutes thing, and we chose you because of this and because of that, and would you like to collaborate with us? And let's say they say yes, right? And you actually show them what they are doing well. So would they want to go to their boss and say, look at me, I was assessed by a pro HR and CPAs or whatever, and they said I'm a 4.9 out of 5. Would they brag or not? So from 1 to 5, will they want to brag about you or not? And I think it's a 5 or a 4.9 or something. And if you have that angle of how you're serving people and getting them to want to talk about you with providing them real value, then you need like a 4.5 and up. If you know that, you can go to the third test, and that is the test of sellability. Sellability is when your contributor, when he's bragging, he needs to be willing to brag in a very specific way. And that is in a way that encourages their tribe, or that encourages themselves to exchange value with you. What type of exchange? Either you will get money from the exchange, you will provide some value in the shape of a resource or a service or a product or a solution, right? But in exchange, you will get either money or time or privacy, like their email address, right? Time, they will attend your can I say shit? They will attend your stuff. They will attend your stuff. Sorry about that. I wasn't sure if that's allowed or not. But basically, the time exchange is also important, right? So if they are willing to take an offer by you and put it in front of someone else, at least one more person, ideally on social media, so it's in front of a lot of people. If they will go and do that, that means that the sellability tests have been successful. So you want them to be like a 4.5 plus out of 5, meaning they will be willing to show your opt-in bribe page. They will be willing to show your offer. They will be willing to invite people to your webinar. They will be willing to help you grow. And if they will be willing to do that in a high level of chances, that means that you've passed the test and you found a niche. It's easy to find collaborators for you. It's easy for you to get them to brag, and it's easy for you to get them to either by themselves or through the people around them to exchange value with you. If you have that, you have a business now. And all you need to do is grind. Do this every single week, sometimes even more than once a week, but every single week, spend the time, put in the time to put that to make those collaborations a habit and a part of your day-to-day. And amen. So I think that that's a big step to start. And
how do you differentiate relationship emails from or between selling? Because that's the thing, like even in marketing, some people don't know the difference between building a relationship networking marketing versus selling.
Yeah.
And I think that
Right.
there's a big difference. And
Very
sometimes
big.
I don't clearly understand. So maybe you can share, and people may be looking at what they're doing today in their email marketing is like, oh, well, I'm doing it all wrong. And maybe that's why I'm not getting all these clicks.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, a lot of people don't like to be sold to, but
Yeah.
you have to do it in a way that you are selling to them, but not being so abrasive with the way that your approach is. Yeah.
So first of all, there's nothing wrong with selling. When you sell, you actually are helping people solve problems, right? So if you come from a place where, oh, I'm going to get rich and I'll make more money, and all you care about is, oh, I have another way to make money, here's another product, then that's like not going to feel good. But if you're coming from a place of, wow, this problem that you have is, I feel the pain that you feel. It's even worse now than ever. And I found a solution for it. It is my obligation to present a solution for you and help you solve the problem. Because if you will get to the promised land of being, have great relationships, be really healthy, and even be rich. I want you to help you in one of those areas. And that solution is it. I have proof. This lady got to 6 figures. This lady got to this. So suddenly it doesn't really feel so much like selling when you actually care. With that said, you don't want to always sell. And I actually want to share a quick story about my teenager daughter. She's 13, and she introduced me to this show called Rick and Morty. It's very violent, and it's not good. It's so violent, I shouldn't even allow her to watch it. But we got hooked, and we watched the whole thing. And there's a character called Mr. Mystics. And every time that Mr. Mystics appears, it doesn't show up a lot. But when he does, he will say, hey, I'm Mr. Mystics, look at me. And every sentence he will say, look at me. Hi, I'm Mr. Mystics. Right? And it becomes this thing that is like, he's always talking about himself all the time. And that character made me think about marketing and how selling, when you sell, you constantly are talking about yourself. So if you use what I've mentioned before, which is like to understand that there's 4 different things in a relationship that you need to do in the communication. You need to talk about them. You need to provide education or entertainment. You need to go deep in your understanding of the other side and where are they in the awareness level. If you do that 3 times out of 4 of your messages, then it will not feel weird when you finally also mention again, oh, look at me, I have a new webinar.
Right.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Thanks.
This is so good. We're getting so much good information. I hope our audience is too.
Yeah.
I sure hope so. And like we really believe that being like writing good emails and nurturing relationship is something that we don't strive to do it like for everyone. We strive to really serve the right people. So like one of the things we do is we actually teach what we teach our copywriters. We teach business owners. We have this challenge, a 5-day challenge, write 5 emails in 5 days. And we run it through through Facebook and inside the group, and you come in for 5 days, and we teach you how to write 5 emails. And at the end of it, if you enjoy doing it yourself and you are not too busy, go ahead and do it by yourself. If you're too busy and you tried it and you've decided, hey, let's just outsource it. It's so affordable. Let's just outsource it. I trust these guys. Then you can do that too. So if you it will be something that when we are about to launch. I don't know when this goes live. Well, this goes live now, but I don't know when you're listening to this. You might listen to this at some point. Then you should know that we will have like a banner on the top of dailycookie.co, the text that says when is our next 5 emails in 5 days challenge.
Okay. So I have one more question. So, I mean, of course, we talked a lot about email marketing, but there's all the other types of marketing, right? Social media marketing and so forth. So how do you go about really combining the two to really maximize your, being able to reach a lot of people? Or do you have any suggestions on how to capitalize on both?
First of all, I want to say that it makes sense to have more than just one tunnel, right? You like not just email marketing. Email marketing and nurturing relationships can be done once you have, either the collaborations or some sort of a way to grow your email list or your tribe. So of course you need other things. The way to combine the two of them, like your other things and your emails, is through talking about it, through maintaining a relationship around that with us. And basically we learn, we study your Instagram, we study your YouTube, your Facebook page and whatnot. We literally go through your products, like your online courses and whatnot. We go in and we look at what people experience. We join your Facebook groups so that we will, be aware of what's going on there as well. So it's literally a part of your team, so that the integration is really complete. And I want to also say one more thing, and that is like from a business owner perspective, he might think, okay, I can delegate this one thing, right? This email nurturing thing. But what about all of the other platforms? How do I make sure that I do my Instagram rate, my stories, my Snapchat, my TikTok channel, my Pinterest, my club, the book club, I don't know, like the Clubhouse. Right, Clubhouse, your Clubhouse account. How do I go on and do my Facebook groups? How do I do everything? And the secret, in my opinion, and this is not something that will fit every business, but definitely a smaller, struggling business, this will be a really good advice for you if you didn't get to 7 figures yet. The secret is that you have to say no to certain platforms. You have to actually limit yourself to 1 to 2 marketing channels where you're actually getting better with your messaging, with the way that you produce the content, with understanding the details of each and every platform. You go into only 1 or 2 of them, and in a matter of 3 months, if you do it every week for, I call it the 10-hour rule, the 10-hour principle. So if you do 10 hours of marketing every week on only one marketing channel, or maybe 2 if you have to, after 3 months, you become so good at it that you start to learn all sorts of shortcuts, like how do you schedule, and how do you batch process it, and how do you do it way faster, and how do you delegate it efficiently, and who are your providers, and what are your tools. And you learn all these things in 3 months of doing it, right? Sometimes you need more than 3 months, so you do another 3 months. But you look at data every week and you see what's working on that specific channel. We grew, we did $305,000 in 2020, which was a very hard year for all of our customers, right? We managed to grow financially, even despite having to go through so many challenges. There were real challenges going on for our clients, and it forced us to go on turbo mode and supercharge everything we do so that we serve them in the new situations that we're going through. But we were able to grow. So we only did two things. We only used two top of funnel strategies. And for us, like the ones that we got better at, the ones that we love, the ones that are easier for us. So you don't need a lot. You need to hone on your strengths and find one or two things that you're really good. Be amazing in Instagram. Be just the bomb in TikTok. But choose which one is it. And of course, choose according to your niche. Is your niche in TikTok? Maybe not. Then it's not TikTok, right? So if you only focus on 1 to 2 of these and you get better, and after 3 months, if you got really good at it, and you can do it in 1 hour instead of 10, by all means, take another one, right? Do another tunnel, another marketing channel. So the secret is to not do everything, to not try to be everywhere, but to actually provide real value where you are, to be so good at what you do, to do things prettily, to focus on every word. Every word counts with what you write, and to just actually shine in providing value to the world, not because you can make money, but because people's lives can improve.
Right. Yeah,
that sounds so true.
Everything you just said about going through their website, their product, their social media, you don't charge enough. So I'm saying it's a lot. I'm not trying to plug. I'm just saying because I've been through your site. That's a lot. You really do the research.
We are very, very proud at simplifying a problem that is a real problem, which is the cost of what we provide, and right. we are proud of not charging that much. And that is because we believe that what we're doing is we're providing real change for smaller businesses. We're democratizing certain services that until now were only accessible for companies with very, very big budgets. Some copywriters actually charge between $1,000 to $5,000 a month.
Right. True.
$1,000 to $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
And that's not like, sometimes they won't even provide a plan. They will just literally, okay, tell us what to do, and we'll do it.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable. You know, if you're charging that amount, it's hard for somebody to, then they focus on you. Like, okay, am I going to really want to spend this money every month? They're going to start looking at other cost-effective solutions. So I think your strategy is very smart, so that because you're building on quantity as well as quality, you know?
Yes, yeah. And I have to say, when you brought up the whole scheduling thing, I started that way. I started with scheduling because, one, it was easier, and there's a lot of scheduling platforms which are really great. But now I found that I think it's obvious that sometimes things are scheduled. So I actually had to bring in somebody like, okay, I have to make it different every time. And so I have to spend the money. So, and now I look at other people's, because I started looking at other people's and then looking at myself thinking, is that how they say my business? So I have to change my strategy. And so I get what you're saying about the whole scheduling. If it's not even custom, people can tell after a while. It's just a post.
But the thing is, your point when you talked about using all these different platforms, I think that's what every business owner is coached to do, you know, or to think. Like, I need to be everywhere. I need to be showing my stuff on every platform, because if not, they can't see me. But exactly what you said is so smart on focusing on just one or two platforms and really just giving it your all and mastering it before moving on or adding. And I think a lot of business owners think that way. I mean, even, you know, I think from our experience, you know, so I can definitely agree with that for sure.
Yeah,
you have great resources. You really do. Not because you're on our show, because when you saw, I said, oh, email marketing. I wouldn't tell you, I was excited. I was like, our listeners need to hear your product, your registered information.
Thank you so much. It's been really a pleasure, and I really think that like when you look at other businesses and you see what they do, you don't have the context of how big they are or of what are the resources. You don't know if they have a team, if they don't have a team. There's so many things that you don't know. And even when you hear podcast or you get some advice on a Facebook group and you just don't know the context, if it's good for you. So if all you see, there's the 20-80 rule, right? 80% of the efforts in marketing only produce 20% of the results. But when you're looking for examples out there, there's 80% chance you're looking at the bad advice.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
You're looking at an advice that will only produce 20%. And you know what? For someone that did nothing, when they get to the 20% results, they think they did amazingly well. So they will go out there and shout out, "Hey, I got results.
Yeah.
I did more social media and more platforms, and I got results." But they got the crumbs. They got the leftovers. They got the 20%.
Right.
And the businesses that make it, they actually focus their 20% efforts on the stuff that gets 80% results. And then if you only listen to people without the context of the results they're getting, the macro level, the annual result. Like I've seen people give advice on Instagram, and here's how you do the hashtag like this and this. And we're talking about businesses that I had like inside information because I've been coaching all sorts of people and so on and got the information. And they're making 4 figures a year, which is okay for a side hustle, right? But if you're making 4 figures like 1,000 or 2 or 3 in a year, and you're providing help to other people with their Instagrams, then that's scary for me as a business owner. I want to get help from someone that is 3 steps ahead.
Yeah.
So I think that the first thing you need to do is not look at other businesses and be overwhelmed by how shiny their posts are.
Right.
Go into your own business and understand what is it that we're going to focus on. Every month, I spend a complete two months out of every year. Sorry, every year I spend a complete 2 months on planning, just planning my messages, planning my marketing, planning. We don't plan enough. We just go in and look at other things, and we constantly hunt for more shiny objects. And
you're so right, though. You're so right.
So much truth, because you're always looking like, dang, what are they doing? I want to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's going to match your business model. But again, the glam light and the shininess is what attracts you, and so, man, wow.
Yep.
And it may not even be suitable for my company or something. I'm jumping on something that's not even,
Yeah. All you really need is, once you know what is your 1 to 2 things you will focus on for the next 10 weeks or so, is to know what is the next step. That's it. Just know every single moment what is the next 1 step or 1 or 2 steps that will get you closer to your 3 months goal.
Yeah. Love it.
And then it doesn't matter what other people are doing. All that matters is what you're doing according to what you need.
You're amazing, dude.
Thank you.
Yes, this was so good. I'm so excited. Okay.
Shame on you, listeners. If you're not checking him out or going to the website or taking this advice, shame on you. Okay.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being a part of the show today. You've provided such great information. You are a great resource, as Rose said.
Yeah.
Our followers and listeners, if you're not going to his website, you're making a big mistake. So please check out his website, guys. Daily Cookie. Schedule a call. Shoot him an email. Take some time to get to know him and get to know what he offers. We also want to thank all of our listeners for listening today. Of course, subscribe, follow us on all of our favorite podcasts. Subscribe to YouTube. Rose, if you have more to say, go ahead and add in there.
Yes, I would like to make sure that everybody knows that if you are listening and you want to make sure that you get in contact with ZIV Raviv, check out our show page, entrepreneurlife.show. These are for our listeners that may not be watching live on YouTube or Facebook or social media. You'll be able to get all of his direct contact, as well as you'll be able to see the webpage, so that you don't have to search for it and Google, but he's going to tell you exactly where he can find him before he leaves the show. Or just come and watch. If you're listening on a podcast, go to our webpage. All of our guests are on there, our past guest interviews, our upcoming guest calendar. So you will not miss a beat with all of our really, 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 really great guests on our show. So if we can close it out and just tell everybody where they can connect with you.
Thank you so much, Rose and Shamara, for having me. Thank you, everyone, for listening. You can find me personally at ZIVRaviv.com, and then you can find all about Daily Cookie at dailycookie.co. Thank you for listening.
Have a wonderful week, everybody.
Thank you.